Hello, my dear students. This is Dr. Supriya Chowgule, working as Assistant Professor in DRK College of Commerce, Kolhapur. Today, in this lecture, we are going to continue the second topic. Content of discussion for today is audit of income. We are going to see some specific items. Here, we are going to see audit of interest income. Interest income is the amount of interest that has been earned during a specific time period. This amount can be compared to the investment's balance to estimate the return on investment that a business is generating. The amount of interest may have been paid in cash, or it may have been accrued as having been earned but not yet paid. In the latter case, interest income should only be recorded if receipt of the cash is probable and you can ascertain the amount of payment to be received. So, interest income is the amount of interest which is been incurred during the specific time period. Interest income is earned from investment that pay interest, such as in a saving account or certificate of deposit. It is not the same as a dividend, which is paid to the holders of a company's common stock or preferred stock, and which represent a distribution of the issuing company's retained earnings. Also, the penalties paid by customer on overdue account receivables may be considered interest income. Since these payments are based on the use of company's funds, that is, accounts receivables, by the third party, that is customer, some companies prefer to designate this type of income as penalty income. Interest income is recorded within the interest income account in the general ledger. This line item is typically presented separately from interest expenses in the income statement. Interest income is usually taxable. The ordinary income tax rate applies to this form of income. In a bank, the excess amount of interest earned on investment over the amount paid out of deposit is referred to as net interest income. Steps. Now, how we are going to audit the interest income? First, interest from fixed deposit with the bank. We need to vouch with relevant bank passbook or statement. Vouching means we are going to cross verify the entries which are recorded in the books of accounts with the relevant passbook, as a passbook is now considered as a voucher or statement is considered as a proof or a document. Second type of interest income is interest from loans. Check. The auditor need to check the agreement between borrower and business. So, the agreement is made whenever loan is taken by any customer. Then the agreement between borrower and business is to be cross-verified, and while giving the loan, the terms have been decided. The terms relating to rates, date of payment, whether those have been followed, achieved or not, that should be cross-verified. Third is interest or dividend from investment. The auditor need to check investment ledger, dates, interest rates, counterfoils, receipts, dividend warrants, passbook, amount and calculation, etc. So the auditor has to check the investment ledger, particularly the dates which have been recorded regarding the transaction, interest rate whether they have been fixed or flexible, counterfoils, receipts, dividend warrant, passbook, amounts calculation, all these needs to be physically verified. The second thing that today we are going to discuss is about audit of rental income. Earlier we have seen interest income, now it is rental income. What is mean by rental income? It is any payment you receive for the use of occupation or property. Expenses of renting property can be deducted from your gross rental income. You generally deduct your rental expenses in the year you pay them. Okay, this is what the rental income, that is the payment you receive for the use of occupation of your property. Now procedure for auditing the rental income. First, the auditor need to examine lease deeds and agreements thoroughly. Second, the auditor has to ascertain the amount and due date of payment and provision regarding expenses. Thirdly, the auditor need to examine rent rolls and compare with cash book for receipt of tenant. Then check counterfoils of receipts issued to tenants. Check accounts and statements if rent is collected through agent, and the auditor need to carefully check outstanding rent if any and consents from client for the same. Now third thing that we are going to discuss, that is sale of investment. While auditing the sale of investment, the auditor need to vouch the amount received with reference to broker sold note. If sale is effected through bank, the auditor need to examine the bank advice. If they are sold ex-dividend, the auditor should see that dividend is received and recorded subsequently. So this is what the three things today we have discussed. Firstly, interest income. Secondly, rental income. And thirdly, sale of investment. What we need to do is, while following the audit procedure, the auditor need to examine first the accounts related to all these items, and secondly he need to vouch thoroughly. Vouching means what? We are going to cross verify the entry in the books of accounts regarding to those transactions, and it is cross examined with the help of relevant documents. So the things which are mentioned in the accounts in the entry respective should be same as in the voucher. Voucher may be counterfoils, receipts, bill issued to the respective person or client. So again I am going to summarize it. Today we have seen auditing of income. Specifically we have seen three items. First was interest income, second was rental income, and third was sale of investment. Thank you. 10 मिनटं